Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We're back at you on the Learn More Indiana site to go over more information about the 21st Century Scholars Program. So if you joined us yesterday, we talked more about getting enrolled in 21st Century Scholars, and today we're going to walk through some more of the Scholar Success Program activities so that you know what you need to do to plan, prepare, and pay for college as a 21st Century Scholar. I'm Brittany Collins, and I'm our Post-Secondary Outreach and Career Transitions Manager at the Indiana Commission for Higher Education. And so I'm going to be the one walking you through today. So if you are watching along with us and you want to share this with other scholars that you know, feel free to share it on your timeline, share it to any relevant groups, and then you can also use the hashtag ScholarSSP as we go through some of the information today. So to get started, we do have our regional outreach coordinators available to assist you throughout the state of Indiana. We'll show their phone numbers throughout the presentation so that you have an idea of who can support you through this process. Again, we serve all 92 counties of students in various geographic regions so that you get the support that you need. If you do need support in Spanish, you can call 317-232-1072. And they'll be able to walk you through additional assistance. So again, necesita ayuda en español, 317-232-1072. So what is our Scholar Success Program? Again, these are activities designed that some may be required for you already as a high school student, but in general are things that are good for you to do in preparing you for what's next after you graduate with that high school diploma. Again, we're going to go through these activity by activity so that you have a full understanding of, again, what you need to do in order to complete these, and then of course report them in the Scholar Track system. So again, to start that off, that is your first go-to. Make sure that you do have an account set up in Scholar Track, and you can find that at www.scholartrack.in.gov, and you can get registered for your account today. But let's get started with the activities. First thing is creating a graduation plan. This is one of the activities that are already required that you may not realize. So every Indiana 9th grade student completes a graduation plan so that you have an idea of what's ahead for you for the next 4 years in your studies, as well as what diploma type you're tracking for. So it's an opportunity to list courses of interest, tests, or other steps that you need to take in order to complete your high school diploma. It allows you to also create your plan digitally, so you can utilize the Indiana Career Explorer platform to do that. Again, this may be something you might have already done with your counselor if you're already finishing up the 9th grade. It's typically around your scheduling meetings, again, as you figure out what classes you want to take, whether or not you want to do dual credit courses or CTE, and those types of things to, again, map out what is your 4-year journey for your high school coursework so that you're taking the courses that you need that, again, are really going to prepare you for what's next. Next is participating in an extracurricular or service-based activity. Again, we want to encourage you to be a well-rounded student in the things that you do. We, of course, want you to excel in your studies and academics, but colleges also want to know the other interests that you have and the other skills and abilities that you like to do on a day-to-day basis or regular basis. So again, we encourage you to, again, take participation in activities outside of school time. You can also be a part of band, choir, theater, newspaper, or your yearbook team, member of student council. We definitely encourage athletics. You can also volunteer if you do things with your church or faith-based organization. Just making sure that you are doing additional things to not only help you network within your own school and community, but again, gain more valuable skills and hopefully some interest in, again, what you want to do long term. There are options you can do things at home, so we understand that the pandemic may have limited some of those activities for the time being. So you could do letter writing campaigns, you could make crafts for those in need or in the military. There are maybe some food drives and things like that taking place still in your community that you can take part in, but know that there are options. There are websites available to allow you to do some service virtually, and so you could do the writeoncampaign.com website, operationgratitude.com site, or the supportourtroops.org if you'd like, again, more information and more ideas on how to go about that virtually in the comfort of your own home to get this activity completed. But again, we want to emphasize, take advantage of doing some additional things beyond your schoolwork activities as you go through high school. The last activity for 9th grade is actually watching the Paying for College 101 video. So again, we want to help you know how you are going to pay for your college education. We want to talk about why college is important in that process overall and why it's worth that time and monetary investment. We want this to be an intro for you to understand how your 21st Century Scholarship works. So again, what the scholarship covers, what it does not, and especially in the realm of the things that aren't covered, like your room and board, or if you decide you want to buy a parking permit for the campus that you attend. Those are some additional costs that come into play. And we start you off with some pretty easy to understand to start tools of how you can add to your 21st Century Scholarship. And then again, other tips and helpful resources in starting to understand that lingo sooner rather than later as you're building up what we would call your financial aid package. Now we're going to transition to 10th grade, something that we do want to highlight. You do have an opportunity in the Scholar Success Program to work ahead on activities. So there may be some things that maybe you've done in 9th grade already through preparing for college and careers or through other community organizations that you're a part of. So know that you can log those at any time, but you also have the ability to catch back up on activities as well. So, maybe you didn't do, any extracurriculars or service activities in 9th grade. That's fine. If you found something this summer or later on during your 10th grade year, you can go back and put that in the Scholar Track system. Just in general, we want to make sure that you do complete all the activities total. And again, we've recommended those grade levels so that they kind of build on things for you and kind of set up a smoother roadmap as you add on these different experiences. So again, kicking off 10th grade, take a career interest assessment. So it's hard to say go to college if you don't know what you're going to do for your college education. You don't know if you're going to do a certificate versus a diploma or degree type, or what kind of major you'd like to have when you start off in your college career. So we want to encourage you to start to figure out what are things that you're interested in already so that you can start to make some of those decisions and start to research what might be the strongest program for you as you start off the process overall. So for us, we're not particular on what career interest assessment you take. There may be one already provided by your school, maybe through Naviance system or through the Canvas site for your school. You can definitely utilize that. Your school might have utilized a paper-based assessment. That's fine too. Our main goal is for you to really explore and start to ask those questions about, what do I like? What am I good at? How do I want to use my skills in the future overall? So on our site, we also link out to Indiana Career Explorer again, because that is a state-based portal that you can go to that has a variety of assessments available to get you started if you haven't taken one already. But again, in that activity itself, we ask you, when did you take it? What did you learn from that? And again, we hope that this is just the start to your career exploration while you're in high school. And with that being the start, that then shifts us to getting some experience in that area. So again, we want you to get started kind of knowing yourself, knowing who you are and what that means in the work that you want to do in the future. And then we want you to try it out. And there's a variety of ways to try it out. So you may be thinking, I'm in 10th grade. I wasn't necessarily thinking about a job, quite yet, maybe down the line, or maybe I wasn't thinking about working in high school at all. There's a variety of ways that you can try out some of the career plans or options that you have in mind. And we definitely support that through this activity. So first, you could do an informational interview. Definitely recommend that. It allows you to talk to a professional in the field that you're interested in, where you get the chance to ask some questions about, what do you like about your job? What do you feel were things that help you to prepare to be in this particular role? What advice do they have for someone else who's looking to be in that particular type of career? This is something that you could work with, your family to help connect you to someone within one of those roles, or, reaching out to your school counselor or teacher to see if they also know of professionals in this particular area that they can connect you to get this done. And the joy of that, You could be in person, it could be over the phone, or even in this virtual space of setting up a chance to talk with someone. It's a common assignment. I know I've done it in my time, and it really started with, let's pick up, a catalog of folks in the area that do this particular piece, or Google professionals in your area with that particular job, and see if they're willing to, take some time to talk about their career path with you. And most people are generally excited to do that. So don't be scared about utilizing that particular option. Another thing that you can do, that if you don't want to do a full-on job experience or internship experience yet, is a job shadow. So again, that's coordinating with, an employer of interest in your community or area to see if they would allow you to come in and see what, a day in the life would be like working in that particular environment or working in that particular role. Again, schools can help with getting this set up for you so that you know what employers in your area already have job shadow programs in place. And again, this might also be helpful to reach out to the school first to see if they know of virtual options that may be available for your job shadow experience. But again, it's always good to see these things before you dive right into them. We worked on the college career side, and it's always sad when you have someone that's very passionate and they want to start off in nursing and realize that it's not until that point, it's their first time being in a hospital seeing blood, and they faint. So the sooner you can try it out and figure out if it's a good fit for you, the better. And again, job shadows, informational interviews, and some of these activities help you to do that, to see if that's a good fit. So again, if you want to do something a little bit more in depth and a little longer period experience for workplace, you could do an internship. So there are a lot of high school programs that have internship programs in place that you can become a part of, that again are going to match you with a local employer. They'll allow you to gain valuable experiences in that particular field that you want to go into. And the cool thing about internships is these are natural things that could potentially lead you to a job with that particular organization or in that industry overall. I used to intern here, so it's valuable and it works, and it definitely can provide a lot of valuable insight and connection and really help you to get your foot in the door in a particular space. If you're not sure, if you're quite narrowed down on a particular career that you want to do an internship in, we also welcome you to do part-time employment, because in general, it's good to figure out what work is like. So again, if you're working for, a local retailer or a local restaurant, those types of things where, again, you're earning money, you're gaining valuable transferable skills to, again, prepare you for whatever career path may take place, we encourage you to do that too, because again, that's getting you familiar with a workplace environment so you can figure out what you really do like, what you really enjoy, and figure out the things that maybe aren't quite your forte moving forward. And that's always fine. You can always, this is why we try it out, so you can switch to something that's a better fit later on. Last thing for 10th grade, again, we're going to continue to build on how do you go about paying for your college education. So again, with 21st Century Scholars, it does cover your tuition and mandatory fees at an institution. And again, those are items that are charged to all students that attend that particular college or university. But again, there are other things that aren't necessarily covered within that. So again, if you want to live on campus, or if you want a meal plan, or of course the books that you may need, or other materials for your courses, it's time to figure out, how you're going to have that all fit together. And so with the estimating college costs opportunity, you have that video to see more in depth and build on the paying for college video of what your options are overall. We do want to make note that the Indiana College Cost Estimator no longer exists. So in order to complete this activity, the only thing you would need to do is watch the video and make sure that you take the quiz. And with all of our video-based activities, remember, you will not have that marked off as completed until you pass that quiz 100%. But that's okay. You can take it as many times as you need in order to get all of those answers worked out for you. And if you have trouble with that, you can reach out to us and we're happy to help you to make sure that you understand and you're able to answer those at 100%. So we're going to take a brief pause so you can digest the first 2 grade levels of activities. So those are 6 things already done, and they're pretty simple to do. Some of them may take a little bit more time than others to put together, but definitely leverage the time this summer to go ahead and get started on some of these. Again, maybe work ahead or catch up on others, but we want to make sure that, again, we show the support that's available to you throughout the state in helping you navigate this program, and again, work with you to answer the questions, get into your ScholarTrack account, and have everything that you need. Welcome back. So again, hope you had a chance to maybe test out some of those activities or get started with your ScholarTrack account and getting logged back in or set up. Something to note, if you ever forget your password for your ScholarTrack account, you can reset that on the site. So you'll just click forgot my password, you'll answer your security questions, and then you'll get an email that prompts you to, again, set up that new password so that you can log into the system. Again, if you have any issues or trouble with that, you can reach out to our financial aid support line that's on the site, or again, talk to one of our regional outreach coordinators today, and they can help you get reset too. Do want to make a note, if you are a junior or senior scholar, we highly recommend that you start to make that transition of using a personal email account for ScholarTrack so that you'll be able to see this information after you complete high school. You know, those high school emails tend to go away, and so we want to make sure that you're not logged out of the system, because you will need to utilize the ScholarTrack system as you start college and using your actual 21st Century Scholarship, as well as understanding your other state financial aid information and your College Scholar Success Program requirements. So go ahead, if you're a junior right now, or you're heading into junior year, heading into senior year, or about to get started in college in the fall, make sure that you have switched over to a personal email account in accessing the ScholarTrack system. So again, if you need help with that, reach out to any one of our regional outreach coordinators. They can get you set up and assisted with logging into the system. So what's on par for junior year? First things first, make sure that you have a chance to visit a college campus. So similar to the workplace experience, you want to figure out if that campus is going to be the good fit for you. Is this campus going to be too large, or is it too small? Are there the right amenities around for you that you need in order to be a successful student? Maybe checking out the local restaurant scene. Have that chance to take that deep dive and explore, again, what's available in your campus community, and especially what's on your campus. And again, the benefit of this, you can complete this activity in a variety of different ways. So as campuses do start to allow folks to come on tours, definitely you can take advantage of that. But many of our college campuses today do allow virtual tour options. Some of those can be just whenever you want to pull them up, you can look through and there's content already created so you can see some of the different parts of campus. And then some campuses also have a guided virtual tour option too that you can set up and schedule and be able to talk with someone in that admissions area, maybe even potential current students as you're going through that information. So know that that's something open and available to you now, and admissions folks on these campuses are excited and happy to help you in learning more about their institution. Again, this may be something you have already completed with family at some point in time. Maybe you went over winter break or spring break or even last fall break to visit campuses. Definitely take advantage. You only have to report one of those campus visits to us, but the more the merrier. So again, it's really for your benefit to see what feels like home for you when you arrive at that particular campus location. The other piece is taking a college entrance exam. So for the Scholar Success Program in particular, that means taking your SAT or ACT. We don't have you take that through the portal itself. We just want to know, when did you take those exams? So that's what you report back to us. Now we know that with COVID, that did have an impact on being able to take the test or get waivers and things like that in order to have this completed. So if you are in the class of 2020, so you have just graduated from high school, this particular activity was waived for you in the requirements, but at this point in time, you will need to complete that if you are in the younger grade levels. So keep that in mind. Definitely stay tuned to the Learn More Indiana social media pages as well as the website, so that if there are any other changes in that regard going into this next school year, you are aware. But that is also information that we'll be sure to email to you too. So why it's important for you to be in the ScholarTrack system and have the up-to-date contact information, again, on any of these changes that may be a result of COVID-19. But again, we want you to take these college entrance exams because as a 21st Century Scholar, that does allow you to be waiver eligible for these exams so that you can take them at no cost. So it's good to be able to take advantage of that opportunity. We do understand that some institutions may now be test optional, but that is not across the board. So that's why we want to encourage students to take it, so that you do have that ability to use those scores where it's still required. And also these scores could be used for potential scholarship opportunities as well, that again, allow you to expand your financial aid package and what you're able to use when you get started with your college career. Final piece for junior year, again, we want to help you plan, prepare, and pay for college. And so searching for scholarships. Now, it's our hope that maybe you've already started to search for additional scholarships before this point. You definitely were already enrolled in the 21st Century Scholarship. But again, scholarships are a great way to, again, figure out what are those other costs that you can get covered by these wonderful grant opportunities. And there's a wide variety of options. Some of them are based on your academics. So if you have really strong grades, that's an opportunity to get more scholarship dollars. Again, if you're involved in extracurricular activities, there are a lot of scholarships that are tied to that as well. And then sometimes there's just some quirky ones that are available just based on different traits or attributes. You may have heard there's scholarships for being left-handed, or a scholarship for being a twin. There's also the old duct tape contest, and then there's also a wide variety of local scholarship opportunities available to you. So we also recommend that you tune into information from your local community foundation. There may also be local businesses or employers that offer scholarship opportunities as well, that you can take advantage of, that are right in your backyard, and these are coming from folks who are passionate about investing in the students in their community. So continue to search for those. In the activity, we provide some platforms that you can look at to search for additional scholarships, and more information about how to be successful in receiving those. But something that we do want to note, and that we do reiterate in the activity, is you should never have to pay for applying for a scholarship. That's an opportunity for you to get grants and things that you don't have to pay back, and that shouldn't start off with you paying any fees or those types of things. So make sure that you're searching online, use the search engines that we provide in that, but also reach out to the colleges that you're interested in, because they're also going to have what are called institutional scholarships and grants that they provide directly to their students that are coming in, that you may qualify for as well. Again, based on a variety of qualifications, interests, or even with some of those, there may be some specific to the location that you're coming from. So senior year, here we are. We are rounding it out with our 12th grade activities. First things first, if you want to go to college, you've got to apply. So we want to make sure that you remember to submit your college application. It's not too late to apply. So again, if you're a current senior that is getting ready to make that transition, but you're still trying to figure out what your best option is, still seek out college applications and submit those to see if you could still be admitted in the fall or in the spring semester. Again, for those juniors that are heading into senior year, now's the time to really be aware of, what does the open date look like for the colleges that you're interested in. It's always a good rule to apply when it opens versus when it closes, so that you have it in there as a priority applicant. Some campuses use that, so the sooner that you apply, the better your odds in admission. So know that that's available. And then also know that with some college applications, the earlier your app is, that also can impact the additional scholarships and dollars that you may qualify for that particular institution. So again, sooner rather than later, make sure that you're ready to send those applications out. Again, the admissions offices at the colleges you're interested in can help you with finding that information. And then know that as a 21st Century Scholar, especially in the state of Indiana, a wide variety of our institutions actually waive the fee for you in those applications. So we do have that on the Learn More Indiana website as well, of who those institutions are and what kind of waivers are available to scholars. And then there are also participants in our college application day campaign that may also do some additional waiver options for students during that particular point in time. So make sure you apply so that that's really that opening document to start your overall enrollment process in the college or university you're interested in going to. The other video that we have you watch in the program is College Success 101. So this one doesn't specifically focus on paying for college per se, but really helping you to, again, start to understand the lingo, know what kind of offices and supports are available on most college campuses to help you with various elements of, where do you pay your bill? Who is financial aid? How do you get questions answered about your courses? What does the Student Affairs Division do? We want to break down what those things are earlier on. It may be a refresher from some things you've heard from your college tour, or they may be brand new to you, but you'll learn more about as you go through the orientation process, again, at your chosen campus. But again, we want you to get familiar with the lingo and help to prepare you for the transition with the content in this particular video. It does still have a quiz involved with it, so make sure that you are paying close attention so you can pass that the first time at 100%, but if not, that's okay. You can always revisit and make sure that you change those answers to reflect the correct information and making sure you understand the correct information in that activity. Last, but certainly not least, filing your FAFSA. So that is the free application for federal student aid. That's not only how you get federal dollars to help pay for your college education, but that is also what the state of Indiana uses in order to administer financial aid dollars to students, especially the 21st Century Scholars Program. So you do need to file your FAFSA in order to be able to access the scholarship as you get ready to enter college. So typically the state deadline is April 15th. There was an extension to that this recent year, again, in light of COVID-19. That process has now closed, but know that in the future, April 15th is the date that you have your eye on to get your FAFSA filed, but it does typically open October 1st. So like I mentioned with the college application, fill it out when it opens. That's normally the easiest route to go, especially if you have your information ready to go. There are various activities and supports that are available during the FAFSA filing period to help answer any questions you have or make sense of some of the forms. We work with several partners throughout the state as well who are able to provide FAFSA assistance and support, and we'll actually highlight one of those later on in the presentation and how to get in contact with them. But no, there's plenty of support available, again, through our regional outreach staff, through our financial aid support center, but then also, again, with some of our awesome partners throughout the state. But again, remember, October 1st is when it opens, and then you have until April 15th that following spring to get that submitted by the state deadline. If you've missed the deadline, especially due to COVID-19 and extenuating circumstances like that, you do have the ability to file an appeal with us. Again, that's something that you're going to do through the ScholarTrack system. Make sure that you have a full account in ScholarTrack to do that, meaning that your account is based on your social security number, and they'll be able to submit an appeal, again, explaining those circumstances so that that can be reviewed in the situation that you are going through. So we finished out the 12. We've ended with that main one, of course, but there's some additional information to know as we move forward. So for seniors this year, some things to keep in mind that are coming up. We normally request graduation details, which are the academic elements of your pledge. So what diploma type did you have? Did you hit that 2.5 GPA? We have those being submitted by your counselors and by your school so that we can verify the academic side while you focus on the Scholar Success Program activity side. You should expect some award creation to point this summer, so you have an idea of what that dollar amount is that will go to your institutions through your 21st Century Scholarship. But know that you can see that in real time once it's available in your ScholarTrack account. Again, especially if you have a full account, you'll be able to see again what state financial aid you qualified for, what that dollar amount is, and you're even able to see that across the Indiana institutions that you have put on your FAFSA. You'll also be able to see if there were any edits or corrections needed on your FAFSA through that platform so that you can get those amended right away so that, again, we're able to process and start to create that award for you to use this upcoming fall. You must have all your requirements completed, again, the academic information submitted, as well as your Scholar Success Program activities completed in order to create the scholarship. So you may be wondering, maybe you're starting to get some financial aid information and you're like, well, wait, I don't necessarily see my scholarship yet or anything about that. Know that there may still be some time for award creation, But also make sure that you check back in your ScholarTrack account and see that you have all green checks for your Scholar Success Program activities too, because that's going to be a good indicator of whether or not you are on track. So know that there's more to come from us this summer as far as additional information. And again, for seniors who've recently graduated, you should have also started to receive information about the College Scholar Success Program. So unfortunately, you may have thought, okay, Scholar Success Program done. No, we have more for you because it's good for you. We have more activities that we're encouraging you to do during your college years that we know, again, will help you to better understand the career that you're headed for after you're done with your college education. But then also, we want to make sure that you get plugged into your campus and the awesome resources and support they have available to help get you through your college experience. And then we also want to make sure that you're able to move through your scholarship in a timely way too, so that you can get it done sooner rather than later, and so you can launch into your career overall. So I mentioned before that we do have awesome partners that can also help you, especially in the realm of financial aid questions and those types of things. One key partner that we work with is InvestEd. You may be familiar with them. They may have done some sessions or workshops at your school throughout high school to talk about, again, some of these various financial aid pieces and how all of this works. You can reach out to them at 317-715-9007, and they're more than happy to support you and your family in answering those questions and making sure that you get the help you need, and making sure you're good to go to get started up again in the fall and using your financial aid. So definitely we wanted to make sure to shout out InvestEd. So that's the main content that we have overall, but do want to remind you again that these are the 12. This is what we're focused on, and making sure that you get these complete. So think about the grade that you're headed to this upcoming fall. You know, where are you at in that activity completion? Are you on track? Are you ahead of the game? Or do you have some catching up to do? Know that this summer is a great time to start to go through these activities, refresh some of them. For instance, searching for scholarships may be in 11th grade, but you can look at it earlier than that. You can revisit it if you still want to, again, maximize scholarships as much as possible, and revisit some of those search engines to continue to apply. And again, similar with the career and workplace information, it's a good chance to, again, figure out ways that you can continue to grow your skills and really start to get to know yourself, and figure out, again, what you plan to do after high school and with that college education you'll receive through the 21st Century Scholarship. So again, for seniors and senior families that may be tuning in, congratulations to you in navigating the COVID-19 situation in senior year. Kudos, and we wish you the best of luck as you get started with college. As well, for our other scholars at other grade levels, again, shout out to you too in navigating this interesting environment, and we continue to support you as you go through your high school and college experience. And again, just know that we're happy to help you overall. So we're going to take another pause, and we'll show the phone numbers again if you need to reach out. Again, you can call one of our regional outreach coordinators. Those phone numbers are also text enabled if you want to send a message. Just make sure that you're clear to identify, your name of who you are as a scholar, and again, that good contact info for them to reach back out to you and follow up with any additional information or details that you may need.
Hello, my name is Teresa Lubbers, and I have the privilege of serving as Indiana's Commissioner for Higher Education. Today, I want to speak directly to the thousands of Hoosier College students who are facing uncertainty about their educational journeys and future. Whether you're a student beginning or completing your studies, you must have questions.
All right, welcome back. So again, make sure that you're utilizing the chat box for this live broadcast. Again, we have staff that are available right now live to help answer any questions. Be sure not to put any personal info in the chat, so any social security numbers, things like that. Feel free to direct message us or inbox us, or again, reach out to one of our regional outreach coordinators. Again, if you do have questions that involve some of that sensitive information. But again, if you have general questions about the Scholar Success Program or 21st Century Scholars, again, feel free to drop those thoughts below, and we're happy to assist overall. So again, you have the numbers up of our staff who again are ready and happy to assist you with any of your scholars questions. But we did want to again take a second to make sure that you know where to go in completing your activities. So again, as I mentioned before, you're going to go to www.scholartrack.in.gov, and here is where you'll find how to get into the ScholarTrack system to log your Scholar Success Program activities. So again, you can log in if you already have the information for that, or if you need to create an account, you can click the register button at the top or the register for an account button at the bottom. And here we'll walk you through how to set up your account. So students, you'll go here. Again, this is where you'll complete your activities. If you are not a 21st Century Scholar, you can still set up a student account to complete Scholar Success Program activities, or find other resources and information and tips. Or again, if you are state financial aid eligible or looking for other state scholarship opportunities, this is also a good place to go to get started with that as well. If you're a parent of a 21st Century Scholar watching, you can also go to the site and set that up. You're able to link your account with your scholar and be able to see on your side whether or not they are on track with activities. You'll also be now in our system to receive some of the email notifications and texts that we send out to remind our scholars of important deadlines and information, as well as events that can help you in getting these activities completed. And then if you're a community partner watching, you could also create an account as well, especially if you support youth throughout the state who may be 21st Century Scholars or who are doing the Scholar Success Program, and you want to work with them one-on-one or in groups as well in making sure that they complete activities. So again, definitely several ways to engage, but students, we really want to make sure that you know that you do need ScholarTrack in order to complete these activities, and you can only complete them in your student account. So you can't complete these in a parent account. You can't just go on a college tour and hope that we know about it. You do have to report about it in the actual Scholar Success Program activity. So once you've set that up and you've gotten logged in, showing what you can expect to see with your Scholar Success Program. So once you've logged into your account, again, you'll see there are various ways to go through and click and check on the activities and mark them as complete with us. You'll notice there's green check marks for the items that are completed and blanks for the ones that are not. So again, if you are just finished up the 9th grade, you want to see all green checks. If you just finished up 10th grade, you want to see all 6 of those, hopefully. But you do have, again, a chance to catch back up or an opportunity to work ahead in some of the activities in the system. What you're seeing now is based on what we call our limited student account. So you may have set this up with your Scholar ID number or with your student test number, which is fine. It's definitely the way to get started so that you can start to log those Scholar Success Program activities. But as I mentioned, if you want to see more of your state financial aid information, if you need to file an appeal, again, seeing the information as you transition over to the college side, you do need a full account with your social security number. If you want to upgrade your account, you'll just click that box. You'll put in your social security number, your full name, especially the name that you have on your government school enrollment documentation, as well as your date of birth, and then that'll now allow you to access the full account system and be able to toggle through some more features. But again, the focus today is SSP, so we definitely wanted to make sure you saw how to go about completing these activities within the system overall. So again, welcome to the Scholar Success Program if you are just getting started with 21st. And then for current high schoolers that are already in it, again, we hope this was helpful for you to understand what's expected of you in each of these activities. And then for seniors, make sure these are all green. And we look forward to continuing to support you and providing more information on the College Scholar Success Program going into this fall.